Evil is not always obvious, but Stoic philosophy helps us recognize it through actions and character. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, believed that virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control defines a good person. Those who reject these values show dangerous traits such as dishonesty, cruelty, and selfishness. By identifying these signs, we can protect ourselves from harm and maintain inner peace. This discussion explores 11 key signs of an evil person based on Stoic wisdom. Understanding these behaviors helps us set boundaries, avoid toxic influences, and stay committed to a life of integrity, wisdom, and moral strength. Signs of evil people. Number 1, they manipulate through deception. Evil people are good at pretending. They know how to say what you want to hear. They make you believe they are kind, caring, or trustworthy. But the truth is, they are only looking out for themselves. Imagine you have a friend who always asks for your help. They say, "You're my best friend. I don't know what I would do without you." But then, when you need help, they disappear. They make excuses. They don't answer your calls. They only act like a friend when they need something. This is manipulation. Seneca warned about these kinds of people. He said, "A liar is always ready with another lie." What does this mean? It means that someone who lies once will keep lying. They will never stop. They will say whatever they need to get what they want. Have you ever been in a situation where someone made you feel guilty for no reason? Maybe a classmate, a coworker, or even a family member. They twist your words. They say, "I thought you cared about me," or, "If you were a real friend, you would do this for me." But deep inside, you know something is wrong. You know they are using your kindness against you. Manipulative people are like actors in a play. They wear masks. They pretend to be good, but their actions show the truth. A Stoic does not believe in words alone. A Stoic looks at actions. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, said, "You should not believe everything you hear, but only what is proven by actions." This is an important lesson. Many people talk about being kind, honest, or loyal. But do they show it through their actions? A manipulative person will always have an excuse. They will say, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that," or, "I was just joking." They will never take responsibility. Instead, they will make you feel like you are wrong. Have you ever heard of gaslighting? It is when someone makes you question your own thoughts and feelings. They say things like, "You're imagining things," or, "You're overreacting." This is a trick. They want to make you feel confused so they can control you. Epictetus, a great Stoic philosopher, said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." This means that good people don't need to talk about being good. Their actions speak for them. A manipulator will always try to make you doubt yourself. They will try to make you think that you are the problem. But remember, you are not the problem. They are. How do you protect yourself from these people? The first step is to see them clearly. Once you know someone is manipulative, you can stop letting them control you. Here are some ways to deal with them. 1. Trust actions, not words. If someone always says nice things but never follows through, they are not trustworthy. 2. Set boundaries. A manipulator will always push your limits. Learn to say no. You don't have to explain yourself. 3. Stay calm. Manipulators want an emotional reaction. If you stay calm, they lose their power over you. 4. Keep your distance. You don't have to be rude, but you don't have to be close to them either. Protect your peace. 5. Remember Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Focus on being good, not on fighting evil people. Imagine you have a coworker named Jake. Jake always pretends to be your friend. He compliments you. He laughs at your jokes. But one day, you find out he is spreading rumors about you. When you ask him, he says, "Oh, I didn't say that. You must have misunderstood. What is happening here? Jake is manipulating you. He wants you to doubt yourself. He wants you to think that you are wrong, not him." A Stoic would not waste time arguing. A Stoic would step back, see the truth, and move on. The best way to deal with manipulators is not to fight them. It is to remove them from your life. Do not waste energy trying to change them. A snake does not stop being a snake. It will bite when the time is right. The Stoics believe that peace comes from within. But to protect your peace, you must also protect yourself from harmful people. If someone in your life makes you feel confused, guilty, or used, it is time to step away. Remember these words from Seneca: associate only with those who improve you. If someone does not make you better, they are making you worse. There is no in-between. So today, take a moment to reflect. Is there someone in your life who manipulates you? Do they twist the truth? Do they make you feel guilty for no reason? If the answer is yes, it may be time to walk away. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to argue. Just live your life with wisdom, strength, and self-respect. Number 2, they enjoy the suffering of others. Have you ever met someone who seems happy when others are struggling? Maybe they smirk when someone fails, or they act entertained when someone is in pain. These people might pretend to be kind, but deep down, they enjoy watching others suffer. This is a clear sign of an evil person. A good person feels sympathy when someone is hurt. A bad person feels pleasure. Imagine you fall while playing a game. A true friend helps you up and asks if you are okay. But a cruel person laughs and says, "That was funny. Do it again." This kind of person doesn't just ignore pain, they enjoy it. They like watching others struggle because it makes them feel powerful. The Stoic view on cruelty. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, wrote, "What injures the hive, injures the bee." This means that when others suffer, we all suffer. A person who enjoys pain is like a disease in a healthy body. Seneca, another great Stoic, warned about people who take joy in the misfortunes of others. He said that a wise person does not waste time with cruel people. Why? Because cruelty is a sign of weakness. A strong person does not need to harm others to feel powerful. How to recognize a cruel person? 1. They laugh at other people's pain. If someone stumbles, fails, or is embarrassed, they find it funny instead of offering help. 2. They enjoy gossiping about others. They love to spread rumors and talk about other people's problems. 3. They make mean jokes. They say hurtful things and then pretend it was just a joke. 4. They celebrate failure. If someone loses a job, breaks up, or struggles, they act happy instead of supportive. 5. They feel no guilt. A good person feels bad when they hurt someone. A cruel person does not care. Imagine you tell someone about a bad day. Maybe you failed a test, or your boss yelled at you. A good friend will say, "That sounds tough. Are you okay?" But a cruel person might smile and say, "Wow, you always mess up, don't you?" They pretend they are joking, but you can feel the truth behind their words. If you enjoy seeing others in pain, then your heart is already poisoned. The same thing applies. If someone enjoys watching fights, seeing others embarrassed or causing harm, they are not someone you should trust. The psychology of evil. Some people enjoy seeing others in pain because they feel weak inside. They want to feel powerful, so they look for others who seem weaker. Hurting others gives them a false sense of strength. A cruel person might have been hurt in the past. Instead of healing, they decide to hurt others so they don't feel weak. But this is not an excuse, it's just an explanation. The truth is, these people are dangerous. How do you protect yourself from cruel people? 1. Do not entertain cruelty. If someone gossips, mocks, or enjoys pain, do not join in. Walk away. 2. Set boundaries. If they make mean jokes, say, "I don't find that funny." If they gossip, say, "I don't want to talk about others." 3. Do not argue with them. A cruel person will never admit they are wrong. It is a waste of time to try to change them. 4. Surround yourself with good people. Marcus Aurelius said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Be with people who lift others up, not those who tear them down. 5. Stay calm and strong. Evil people want a reaction. If you show anger or sadness, they win. If you stay calm, they lose interest. Let me tell you a story of strength. A boy named Daniel. Daniel had a classmate, Tom, who always laughed when others failed. If someone dropped their lunch tray, Tom would clap and cheer. If someone got in trouble, Tom would whisper, "Serves them right." One day, Tom tried to make fun of Daniel. He said, "Wow, nice shoes. Did your grandma pick them out?" Normally, this would make someone feel bad. But Daniel, who had read about Stoic philosophy, just smiled and said, "Maybe she did. I like them." Tom was confused. He wanted Daniel to feel embarrassed. But Daniel did not react. This made Tom lose interest. He looked for someone else to tease. This is how Stoicism helps us. When we refuse to be affected by cruelty, we take away the power of evil people. The Stoics believe that real strength comes from self-control. A strong person does not need to harm others to feel powerful. A truly powerful person lifts others up. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. If someone is cruel, do not become like them. Do not waste time arguing with them. Do not let them make you bitter. Instead, be a light in the darkness. Show kindness, strength, and wisdom. If someone enjoys suffering, they are not someone you need in your life. Stay true to your values. Protect your peace. And never let the cruelty of others change the goodness in you. Number 3, they are obsessed with power and status. A person who is obsessed with power and status is dangerous because they will do anything to get ahead. They see life as a competition where they must always be on top, no matter the cost. To them, other people are not friends, family, or colleagues, they are obstacles or tools to be used. Stoic philosophy teaches that true happiness comes from inner peace and virtue, not from power or status. But an evil person believes that their worth is measured by how much control they have over others. Someone who is obsessed with power will lie, cheat, and manipulate just to gain an advantage. They do not care about fairness or justice. If they need to betray someone to move forward, they will. If they need to step on others to climb higher, they will not hesitate. To them, kindness and honesty are weaknesses. They only respect force and control. This type of person is easy to recognize in a workplace or social setting. They are always looking for ways to make themselves look better, even if it means making others look worse. They take credit for other people's work. They spread rumors to damage someone's reputation. They pretend to be friendly, but only when they need something. Once they get what they want, they forget about the people who helped them. In relationships, a power-hungry person is always controlling. They want to decide what others do, think, and feel. They do not see their partner, friends, or family as equals. Instead, they treat them like possessions. They demand loyalty but do not give it in return. If someone disagrees with them, they see it as a challenge to their authority. They react with anger, manipulation, or even threats. A stoic person, however, does not chase power for the sake of control. They understand that power is temporary. One day, you may be in charge, but the next day, someone else will be. Stoics believe that true strength comes from character, not status. A person with wisdom and integrity does not need to dominate others. They gain respect naturally because they act with fairness and honesty. If you recognize someone who is obsessed with power, be cautious. Do not let them control you or make you feel small. Do not believe their false promises, because they only care about their own success. A Stoic does not waste time trying to impress such people. Instead, they focus on their own values and avoid getting pulled into the power games of others. A power-hungry person may achieve success, but they will never have peace. They will always fear losing control. They will always need more, no matter how much they gain. A Stoic, on the other hand, remains free because they are not attached to status or control. We understand that real power is not about ruling others, it is about ruling yourself. 4. They blame others for their problems. A person who always blames others for their problems refuses to take responsibility for their own actions. When something goes wrong, they never look at themselves. Instead, they point fingers at other people, bad luck, or circumstances beyond their control. This kind of person is dangerous because they never learn from their mistakes. Instead of improving themselves, they stay stuck in a cycle of failure, anger, and resentment. Stoic philosophy teaches that we must take responsibility for our own lives. A wise person looks inward, while an evil or weak person always looks for someone else to blame. Blaming others is a way of avoiding personal growth. If someone fails at work, they blame their boss or coworkers instead of asking what they could have done better. If they have a failed relationship, they say it was all the other person's fault instead of looking at their own mistakes. Even when they make poor choices, they act like the victim. They might say, "Life is unfair," or "People are against me," instead of taking control of their actions. Because they never accept their role in their failures, they keep making the same mistakes over and over again. This type of person is also dangerous because they can turn against you. If something goes wrong in their life, they might decide that you are to blame. Even if you help them, they will not appreciate it. Instead, they will find a way to make you the villain. They twist reality to avoid accepting responsibility, and in doing so, they can damage your reputation and your peace of mind. A Stoic, on the other hand, takes full responsibility for their actions. If they fail, they see it as a lesson. If they face hardship, they accept it with strength. They do not waste time blaming others because they know that blaming does not change anything. Instead of complaining about things they cannot control, they focus on what they can control, their own decisions, actions, and mindset. People who always blame others are often filled with bitterness. Because they believe the world is against them, they live in a state of anger and frustration. This makes them exhausting to be around. They drain the energy of those who try to help them because no matter how much support they receive, they will always find something to complain about. If you recognize someone like this in your life, be careful. Do not let them drag you into their negativity. A Stoic remains calm in the face of complaints and does not engage in pointless arguments. Instead, they lead by example, showing that true strength comes from taking responsibility, not from making excuses. A person who blames others will always be unhappy because they refuse to fix their own problems. A Stoic knows that happiness and success come from within. The sooner a person accepts responsibility for their own life, the sooner they can start living with true peace and purpose. 5. They lack gratitude and contentment. A person who lacks gratitude and contentment is never satisfied. No matter how much they have, they always want more. Instead of appreciating what they already own, they focus on what they don't have. This kind of person is dangerous because their greed and envy push them to act without morals. They will lie, cheat, and harm others just to get ahead. Stoic philosophy teaches that true happiness comes from appreciating what you have, not from constantly chasing more. A person without gratitude never feels fulfilled. If they achieve something, they quickly forget their success and start wanting something else. Their endless desire makes them restless and bitter. They look at others who have more and feel anger instead of inspiration. Instead of working on improving themselves, they waste time complaining about what they lack. Such a person is often jealous of others. If a friend is doing well, they do not celebrate their success. Instead, they feel threatened. They secretly hope that the other person will fail so they can feel better about themselves. They spread negativity and try to bring others down because they cannot stand seeing someone happier or more successful than them. A stoic person, on the other hand, understands the value of gratitude. They do not base their happiness on wealth, status, or possessions. Instead, they appreciate what they already have. A stoic wakes up each morning and reminds themselves that life itself is a gift. They understand that material things come and go, but peace of mind lasts forever. A person who lacks gratitude also struggles with relationships. They are never satisfied with the people around them. No matter how much love or kindness they receive, they always want more. They criticize their friends, family, and partners instead of appreciating them. They take people for granted, believing they deserve more than they are given. Over time, their selfishness pushes people away, leaving them alone and unhappy. Ways to recognize them. They will try to make you feel guilty for not giving them enough. They will make you feel like you owe them something, even when you have already done a lot for them. Do not fall into their trap. A stoic does not waste time trying to please someone who will never be satisfied. Instead, they focus on their own inner peace and happiness. In the end, a person who lacks gratitude will never find true happiness. They will always feel empty because they are looking for fulfillment in the wrong places. A stoic knows that contentment is not about having more, it is about appreciating what you already have. The more you focus on gratitude, the more you realize that you need very little to be happy. Number 6. They betray trust without guilt. A person who betrays trust without guilt is evil because they do not value loyalty, honesty, or responsibility. They see relationships, whether friendships, family bonds, or romantic partnerships as tools for their own benefit. When it is convenient for them, they will lie, cheat, and abandon the people who trusted them without feeling any remorse. Stoic philosophy teaches that trust is one of the most valuable things a person can give or receive. To break that trust for selfish reasons is a sign of a deeply flawed character. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. When you trust someone, you expect them to be honest, to keep their promises, and to support you in difficult times. But an evil person does not see trust as something valuable. They see trust as something to be used. They gain people's trust only to exploit it later. They may pretend to be loyal, but the moment it benefits them to betray you, they will do it without hesitation. Example. A friend who shares your secrets when it benefits them. They act like they care about you, but as soon as they see an opportunity to gain something, attention, approval, or even money, they will reveal your private thoughts without a second thought. A Stoic philosopher understands that trust is sacred. They do not make promises lightly, and when they do, they keep them. They value loyalty not because it is convenient but because it is right. They understand that once trust is broken, it is difficult, sometimes impossible to repair. A Stoic does not betray friends, family, or partners for selfish gain because they know that a life built on deception is an empty one. People who betray trust often try to justify their actions. They may say, "I had no choice," or "it wasn't a big deal." They do not feel guilty because they lack the ability to truly care about others. To them, people are replaceable. If they lose one friend, they will find another. If they break one relationship, they will start a new one. They do not understand the real value of deep, meaningful connections. If you recognize someone who betrays trust easily, be careful. Do not give them more chances than they deserve. A Stoic knows that forgiveness is important, but so is wisdom. If someone has proven that they cannot be trusted, it is better to keep your distance. Protect your peace and surround yourself with people who respect trust, not those who abuse it. A person who betrays trust will never have real relationships. People may stay around them for a while, but eventually, their lies and disloyalty will leave them isolated. A Stoic, on the other hand, builds a life based on honesty and integrity, knowing that true happiness comes from being trustworthy and surrounding themselves with people who are the same. 7. They are hypocritical. Some people act as if they are wise, honest, or virtuous, but in reality, they are nothing like the values they preach. They tell others how to live, but they do not follow their own advice. They judge, criticize, and demand honesty, yet they lie and deceive when it benefits them. This is hypocrisy, and it is one of the greatest signs of a dishonest person. The Stoics believe that words mean nothing if actions do not match them. A wise person does not preach one thing and do another. Instead, they live by their values every single day. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This means that instead of talking about what is right, we should simply do what is right. What does it mean to be hypocritical? A hypocrite is someone who criticizes others for things they do themselves, pretends to have good values but does not follow them, acts kind when being watched but cruel in private, uses moral rules only when it benefits them. For example, a person who lies but gets angry when others lie to them. A leader who demands honesty but is corrupt. A religious figure who teaches kindness but treats people poorly. A friend who tells you to be loyal but betrays others. Hypocrites do not truly care about right or wrong. They only care about looking good. Why are hypocrites dangerous? A hypocrite is not just dishonest, they are deceptive. They make others believe they are trustworthy when they are not. They are dangerous because they make others feel guilty, they judge and shame people while ignoring their own faults. They manipulate trust, people believe in them because they seem moral, but their actions prove otherwise. They create confusion, they say one thing and do another, making people doubt what is truly right. They use morality as a weapon. Instead of living by their values, they use them to control others. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." This means that real wisdom is shown through actions, not words. Signs of a hypocrite. A person who is hypocritical will often judge others harshly while ignoring their own mistakes. Change their beliefs when it benefits them. Act differently in public and private. Demand respect without earning it. Use moral rules only when convenient. Hypocrites love to give advice, but they never follow it. They love to act like they are better than others, but they never try to improve themselves. What would a Stoic do? A Stoic does not waste time arguing with hypocrites. Instead, they focus on their own actions and live according to their values. Seneca said, "A good character, when established, is not easily overthrown." This means that a person of true integrity does not change their values for convenience. They remain honest, no matter the situation. How to protect yourself from hypocrites. 1. Watch actions, not words. Many people say the right things but do the opposite. 2. Trust those who admit their mistakes. Honest people are not afraid to be wrong. 3. Do not take their criticism personally. A hypocrite judges others to hide their own flaws. 4. Stay away from those who always blame others. If they never take responsibility, they are not trustworthy. 5. Be consistent in your own actions. If you value honesty, be honest. If you value kindness, be kind. A hypocrite may fool others for a while, but in the end, their actions always reveal the truth. The Stoics believed that a person's character is not defined by what they say, it is defined by what they do. Seneca said, "You must live for yourself. Think for yourself." This means that instead of following people who talk about virtue, follow those who live virtuously. And more importantly, be that person yourself. 8. They constantly stir conflict. Some people cannot live in peace. They always create problems, arguments, and chaos. They do not like harmony. Instead, they enjoy stirring conflict. They pit people against each other, spread rumors, and make situations worse. A person like this is dangerous because they make the world around them unstable. They destroy friendships, families, and even entire communities. But the Stoics taught us to remain calm, wise, and above all, not to be pulled into unnecessary conflict. Marcus Aurelius said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. This means that when others try to pull you into their drama, you do not have to join them. They lack inner peace. A person who is unhappy inside often spreads their misery to others. The Stoics believed that a wise person does not waste time on unnecessary fights. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This means that instead of getting involved in foolish arguments, simply live as a good and wise person. How do they cause conflict? They gossip and spread lies. They twist the truth to make people argue. They turn people against each other. They say one thing to one person and something different to another to create a fight. They exaggerate problems. A small mistake becomes a huge issue in their hands. They refuse to let go of the past. They keep bringing up old problems to stir new fights. They pretend to be victims. Even when they are the ones causing trouble, they act like they are the ones being attacked. What would a Stoic do? The Stoics taught that when someone tries to pull you into conflict, you should remain calm and wise. Do not let them control your emotions. Epictetus said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." This means that no one can make you angry unless you allow them to. If someone starts a fight, you have the power to walk away. Do not react emotionally. Stay calm. Do not let people who stir conflict pull you into their drama. Do not engage in gossip. If someone spreads rumors, refuse to listen. Focus on what you can control. You cannot control others, but you can control yourself. Seek truth, not drama. Do not believe everything you hear. Always look for facts. How to protect yourself from these people? 1. Recognize the signs. If someone always causes drama, be aware of their behavior. 2. Stay neutral. Do not take sides in unnecessary conflicts. 3. Avoid gossip. Do not let others pull you into their web of lies. 4. Set boundaries. If someone is always causing trouble, distance yourself. 5. Stay focused on peace. Do not let their chaos disturb your inner calm. A person who stirs conflict is a slave to their emotions. They are not in control of themselves, so they try to control others through drama. But a wise person does not fall into this trap. A wise person values peace over arguments, wisdom over gossip, and strength over foolish fights. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Be brave enough to walk away from unnecessary conflict. Choose wisdom. Choose peace. That is the Stoic way. 9. They exploit the weak. Some people in this world take advantage of those who are weaker than them. They see kindness as weakness and use it for their own gain. They prey on the gentle, the trusting, and the helpless. A person like this is dangerous because they believe that power gives them the right to do whatever they want. But the Stoics taught us that true strength is not about hurting others, it is about protecting them. A strong person does not need to take advantage of the weak. Only a coward does that. They trick the innocent. They take advantage of those who do not know better, lying or twisting the truth to get what they want. They choose their victims carefully. They target those who are too kind to fight back. A person like this is always looking for someone they can control. They believe that if someone is kind, trusting, or in a weaker position, they are easy to use. But they do not realize that kindness is not weakness, it is strength. A person who takes advantage of the weak does so because of fear and greed. They are afraid of losing control, so they push others down to stay on top. They are greedy for power, money, or attention, and they do not care who they hurt to get it. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best way to defend yourself is to not be like them." This means that even when you see others being cruel, you must not let it change you. You must remain strong, fair, and just. What would a Stoic do? The Stoics believe that we should protect those who cannot protect themselves. If you see someone being taken advantage of, do not stay silent. Speak up. Offer help if you can. But most importantly, do not allow yourself to be used. Seneca said, "He who has great power should use it lightly." This means that true strength is not about crushing others, it is about lifting them up. If someone is trying to use you, ask yourself, does this person truly care about me, or only what I can do for them? Do they respect me, or do they see me as a tool? Am I helping because I want to, or because they are forcing me? A Stoic does not allow themselves to be controlled. They act with wisdom, not fear. How to protect yourself from exploiters. 1. Set boundaries. Say no when something does not feel right. 2. Do not let guilt control you. If someone tries to make you feel bad for not helping them, think carefully, is it fair? 3. Observe their actions, not just their words. Do they truly care about others, or only about themselves? 4. Do not be afraid to walk away. Some people will never change. Protect your peace. 5. Help, but do not be used. It is good to be kind, but not to those who take advantage of kindness. The strong do not need to hurt the weak. The wise do not need to deceive the innocent. A person who takes advantage of others is not powerful, they are afraid. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If you wish to be strong, master yourself. Do not be controlled by fear, greed, or cruelty. Instead, choose wisdom, kindness, and justice. That is true strength. Number 10. They lack empathy and compassion. Some people go through life without caring about anyone but themselves. They do not feel sorry when they hurt others. They do not understand other people's pain. They have no empathy and no compassion. A person like this is dangerous because they see others as objects, not as human beings with feelings. They do not care who they hurt, as long as they get what they want. But the Stoics taught us that we should always act with justice and kindness. Marcus Aurelius said, "What injures the hive, injures the bee." This means that when we hurt others, we also hurt ourselves. A society without empathy falls apart. What is empathy? What is compassion? Empathy is the ability to understand and feel what someone else is going through. If a friend is sad, you feel their sadness too. Compassion is the desire to help someone who is suffering. It is not just feeling their pain, it is wanting to ease it. A person who lacks empathy and compassion does not care about anyone's suffering. They see a crying child and feel nothing. They hear about a tragedy and just move on. If they see someone struggling, instead of helping, they might even make things worse. They do not feel guilt, if they hurt someone, they do not feel bad. Instead, they blame the victim or make excuses. They ignore suffering. When they see someone in pain, they look away instead of offering help. They mock others' pain. If someone is struggling, they laugh instead of showing kindness. They only care about themselves. If something does not affect them, they do not care about it. They are cruel for no reason. Sometimes, they even enjoy hurting others. People like this sees emotions as weakness. They believe that caring for others makes them vulnerable. But they are wrong. The Stoics believe that true strength comes from being just, fair, and kind. Why do some people lack empathy? Some people are raised without learning empathy. Others lose it over time because of pain, fear, or greed. Some people even choose to block out emotions because they think it makes them stronger. But the truth is, a person without empathy is not strong, they are empty. They may seem powerful, but inside, they are cold and disconnected from life. Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." A person without empathy misses this opportunity. They live only for themselves, and in the end, they die alone, with no real love, no real connections, and no real meaning. What would a Stoic do? If a Stoic met someone with no empathy, they would not waste energy trying to change them. Instead, they would focus on controlling their own actions. Epictetus said, "You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond." This means, do not expect everyone to be kind. Some people are not. Do not let cruel people make you cruel too. Stay kind, even when others are not. How to protect yourself from people without empathy. 1. Do not expect them to care. If someone has no empathy, they will not change just because you want them to. 2. Do not share your pain with them. They will not comfort you. They may even use it against you later. 3. Watch their actions. If someone never shows kindness, do not trust them. 4. Stay kind, but do not be blind. You do not have to be cruel, but you also do not have to let them hurt you. 5. Surround yourself with good people. There are many kind, compassionate people in the world. Choose them instead. A person without empathy is not truly living. They may have power, money, or success, but without kindness, their life is empty. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes from virtue. And virtue includes justice, wisdom, and kindness. A person without empathy has none of these things. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it, if it is not true, do not say it." Live with kindness. Choose compassion. And do not waste time on those who refuse to do the same. 11. They drain your inner peace. Some people bring chaos wherever they go. They do not respect your time, your emotions, or your boundaries. They constantly complain, create problems, and fill the air with negativity. The Stoics believed that peace comes from within, but they also understood that the people around us can influence our minds. If someone constantly brings conflict, frustration, or doubt into your life, they are harming your inner peace. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that even if we cannot control the actions of others, we can control who we allow into our lives. A person who disrupts your peace will often complain constantly, nothing is ever good enough for them. Create drama. Play the victim. Exhaust your energy. Disrespect your boundaries. For example, a friend who always brings bad news and never offers solutions. A family member who makes you feel guilty for setting boundaries. A coworker who spreads negativity and makes work unbearable. A partner who creates unnecessary fights and tension. These people may not always mean to cause harm, but the effect is the same, they drain your energy and peace. They thrive on negativity, they feel uncomfortable when things are calm. They seek attention, drama makes them feel important. They do not take responsibility, instead of solving their problems, they complain about them. They enjoy controlling others, if they can affect your emotions, they feel powerful. They do not value peace. But you do not have to live this way. The Stoics believed that you must protect your peace just as you would protect your health. Signs someone is draining your peace. A person who disrupts your inner peace will make you feel anxious or exhausted after spending time with them. Constantly bring up negative topics without looking for solutions. Turn small issues into big problems. Ignore your need for space or quiet. Make you feel guilty for focusing on yourself. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." This means that the people in your life should support your growth, not drain your energy. What would a Stoic do? The Stoics understood that your mind is your sanctuary. If someone is constantly disturbing your peace, you must take action. Limit your time with them. If someone drains you, reduce their influence in your life. Do not let them control your emotions. Their negativity is their problem, not yours. Set boundaries. Let them know when you need space and do not feel guilty about it. Surround yourself with peaceful people. Choose friends who bring calmness, not chaos. Stay focused on your own path. Do not let their distractions pull you away from your goals. Epictetus said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." This means that if we allow negative people to control our mood, we lose control over ourselves. How to protect your inner peace. 1. Choose your company wisely. Spend time with people who encourage peace and growth. 2. Do not engage in unnecessary arguments. Some battles are not worth fighting. 3. Create space for yourself. Take time to be alone, reflect, and recharge. 4. Stay calm in the face of negativity. Do not let others pull you into their chaos. 5. Remember that peace is a choice. You cannot control others, but you can control how you respond. Your inner peace is one of the most valuable things you have. Do not let others take it from you. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This means that you can choose peace. You can choose to walk away from drama, to set boundaries, and to protect your mind from negativity. The Stoics believe that true strength is not found in fighting battles, it is found in knowing which battles to ignore. Choose your peace. Guard it well. Conclusion. The Stoic approach to identifying and avoiding evil people. Evil does not always come in obvious forms. Some people harm others through lies, betrayal, manipulation, or selfishness while pretending to be kind or trustworthy. Stoic philosophy teaches us to judge people by their actions, not their words, and to protect ourselves from those who lack virtue. By recognizing the 11 signs of an evil person, we gain the wisdom to avoid unnecessary suffering and focus on living a life of integrity, strength, and inner peace. The Stoics believe that character is destiny. Those who act without honesty, empathy, or responsibility may find short-term success, but in the long run, they destroy relationships, lose trust, and face a life of isolation or regret. On the other hand, those who live with wisdom, justice, and self-control build meaningful connections and lasting fulfillment. It is not our job to change evil people, that is their own responsibility. Our duty is to protect our peace, uphold our values, and lead by example. In the end, Stoicism teaches that the best way to deal with evil is not to become like it. We must remain calm in the face of cruelty, wise in the presence of deception, and strong in the face of betrayal. True power lies in virtue, not in manipulation or greed. By staying true to our principles and surrounding ourselves with good, honest people, we create a life that no amount of evil can destroy. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like, share to your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Remain blessed.